like I am stuck in rewind. It's only a moment where I feel alive.
For today's video, I want to talk about how I got into concert photography and what that process was like, because surprisingly, it wasn't that long ago that I got into concert photography. Basically, the beginning of this year, January of 2024, is when I had my first concert photography experience, and then from there, 7 months later, I am the official content creator, multimedia specialist for Midnight Beverage, which I'm super grateful for. Before I talk about how I got into concert photography, here's a quick backstory of how everything happened. Before I talk about it, we're just gonna go to a park because I kind of want a different scenery.
Years go by, feels like I am stuck in rewind. It's only a moment where I feel alive. When your body's getting close to mine.
Alright, so I'm at a park. Excuse the background noise. I have noise reduction on, so hopefully that helps out a bit. But I have my phone right here because I was writing out the bullet points, and it seems like it might be a really long story, but all this information is super crucial on how I got into concert photography. But before we get into how I got into it, what was I doing before concert photography? So before doing concert photography, I was focusing more on in getting into portrait photography because one, I wasn't too confident. Two, I wasn't comfortable enough doing portrait photography. So I would just message people here and there like, hey, are you interested in getting some photos? There'll be no charge. It's just because I want to, expand my horizons on photography and see what I can do. And it was working out pretty well. And as well, at the same time, I was kind of restructuring my social media and moving to the influencer content creator route, just because I liked documenting my everyday life. I will have my X100V with me, take pictures of what I'm doing. I would also record clips here and there, make some reels of my day. So I was having fun with that. So I just thought to myself, maybe probably move towards that and see if I can get any sponsorships and stuff like that. So that's what I was doing before concert photography. And now this is how I got into it. This happened last summer. I was on social media. I was specifically on TikTok. I was just scrolling, just brain rotting. But then I stumbled upon this page. They were playing their song, and I really liked the vibes of it. So I followed them on TikTok and on Instagram. The band's name is Vortex. They are based in Houston, Texas. They're an indie alternative rock band, Latino rock band. And I really liked their songs. And a few days later, I ended up following their official photographer, Joel. He's a pretty cool guy. We were just DMing back and forth and stuff like that, getting to know each other. And so around this time, I was already flying out internationally. I was going to Europe. And I also had a couple of things going on as well. I had a video project for a tattoo artist, and I was also working on my personal project. So whenever they would announce when they were performing, it was a bit hard to line it up because one, I think I forgot to mention this, I'm not from Texas. I'm actually born and raised in New Jersey. So it's crazy how the algorithm works. I just ended up getting fed Texas content, but it was pretty cool. I'm kind of glad that it did happen. But anyways, there was a lot going on that I was doing, trying to figure out the best days for me to fly out and stuff like that, but it was super difficult for me to do that. So I know Joel was keeping me up to date with some future events that they're going to be doing. And so I know around December came and Vortex announced that they were going to be performing the first week of January. So I emailed and messaged them through Instagram saying hey, I really like your music. I would like to take pictures for you guys if I could get a media pass. And a few days later, they messaged me back saying like, yeah, we'll give you a media pass, just give us the information and we'll let you know if everything gets cleared. And then I gave them my information. A few days later, I got cleared, so I got the media pass, which was pretty cool. And keep in mind, this is my first time doing concert photography, so I wasn't sure what to expect. And then a few days later, I saw there was another band performing with them as well, so I messaged them. Their name is Orion 224, another alternative indie rock band. And I told them like, hey, like I would like to take pictures for you guys. And they also gave me a media pass, which was pretty cool. So yeah, that's how I got into it. It was a bit kind of scary, overwhelming, just because one, I didn't know what to expect. Two, I was gonna fly out halfway across the country, barely knowing anyone. And I'm a pretty shy and anxious person, so, you know, you can only imagine how I felt, but I had to get out my bubble and just, you know, network and get to know a lot more people and stuff like that. But I'm kind of glad I was able to do that. And during my stay in Houston, Texas, I was only there for 2 days, so it was pretty quick. I was basically in and out just like that. Joel and Giselle, another photographer as well that was photographing for Vortex, both of them basically told me like, hey, like if you want to come here and try to pursue like concert photography, come to Houston, Texas. And as well, there's like a big photography community. Everyone helps each other out. We have that as well. And you know, it got me thinking. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do that, but they definitely planted a seed. So when I flew back home, I kind of made the decision like, hey, I think I might just move to Texas. Let me just apply to any job that I get. And so, you know, a few weeks later, I ended up getting the job. So I moved here to Texas. And before moving to Texas, I know when I shared the photos to Vortex and they posted it, and when I posted them as well, they reposted my pictures. I feel like everything is jumbled up, but like I said, just bear with me. But when Vortex shared my photos, I got like a few other bands following me, and one of them was Midnight Beverage, another Houston band, alternative indie as well. And they messaged me saying like, hey, like we really like your work, what you did at Warehouse Live, which was where Orion 224 and Vortex were performing. And they were like, hey, we'll just give you a media pass. So I was like, yeah, sure, like that really means a lot that you guys like my work, and we exchanged information. And ever since, you know, moving here to Houston, Texas, I was photographing for Vortex and Midnight Beverage. And then after a few months of photographing with Midnight Beverage, I officially became their like content creator, multimedia specialist, which I'm super grateful for. Thank you guys, and thank you to Vortex and Orion 224 for giving me this opportunity, even though I had no experience. But it really means a lot that you know, someone at least gave me the chance to do something that I had not done before at all. And so yeah, so that's how I got into concert photography. I literally just messaged one band, and then from there, everything was like a domino effect. And yeah, so take away from this story, I'm not saying to move to a completely new place, but definitely message your local band and just tell them like, hey, like I would like to take pictures for you. The worst they can say is no. But yeah, I feel like I just got lucky, or you know, I either got lucky or it feels like I got lucky, but I'm super grateful for where I am. That's my story on how I became a concert photographer, videographer. Super grateful for it, looking forward where Midnight Beverage goes. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this story. And that's all I have for you guys.